What up? It's saying I'm live.
Right now?
And I did it directly through YouTube. I did it different this time.
Let me see. I don't know where's that on your page.
Just go to Coach Korea. It should come up in your.
You got the general symbol, right?
Yep. It's
well,
been.
That shit, I even subscribe to your page right now. Let me go to the home screen. All right, now it says you live. I'm watching now.
Yeah, you see me here, right?
I'm watching now. Yeah, you see me here, right? I can hear myself talking through your stream.
Yeah.
With a black t-shirt.
Yeah. So who's on here? I see there's 2 people on.
There's 2 people watching.
Right. So answer a question. 3 people watching. Answer put a question. Hold on. I gotta hang up because it's messing up everything. But put a question up there. Let me see if I can see the question. Damn, it took me a fucking hour to figure this shit out. After talking for 35 minutes with nobody watching, I think I figured it out. All right, I gotta fix the question. Obviously, that's not gonna happen today. But I see there's a couple people on, so if you're on, I'll get to what I was talking about. Now I see the text is coming, and obviously everybody. All right. Well, I'll do it for the 2 people that is on. And we'll get to it. What I was talking about earlier was cover 6, which in our terms is our trips check. I don't like that. I like the free over here. And I'm gonna put the safety over here. And then we got corner. Can everybody see all that? Everybody see everything? Now, everything we base out of a 2-high shell. Why? Because it's easier for us to disguise what we're gonna do when we want to get into an 8-man hard box or 1-high safety look. But we base everything out of our starting point is with this 2 shell right here. For argument's sake, we're going to say the trip side of the field is the wide side of the field, and they're going to bring the split end into the boundary. So let's just say the boundary's right here. The reason we check to cover 6 is because we base everything out of being a cover 1, cover 3 type team with a middle of the field defender. When I said cover 6 in principle is a 3 deep coverage, I'm going to show you why and how now. All right. When we check the trips, automatically, this is an auto check for us. So we're going to call it something. We're not going to call it cover 6. Either we're going to call it Dalfin, something with Nick Saban, because this is a Nick Saban fucking thing, period. I don't know. Maybe we'll call it Tide, Alabama one year. Who knows? But we're going to code this so they know if we get trips to the field, especially from the gun with a back in the backfield and a split end, people need to understand that when we're talking about relating the threats, we're going to count from the outside in. So if we're on the weak side here to the boundary, we're going to count 1 here, 2's in the backfield. This way, we got tight end, slot, flanker. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. So when you hear me talk about one or who relates to 2 or 3, we're talking about the threats they have in the passing game. So it'd be 1, 2 this way, 1, 2, 3 the other way. All right. When we get to cover 6 from our 2-high look, that's telling this quarter automatically he's locking up here, playing in a cloud of playing in a cloud alignment, meaning he's up on that guy in the press man type look. That's going to tell this guy he's got to spin over the top because here's your half player. Here's your half the field player. Can everybody see that? Here's your half the field player here. Can you see that? Am I in your way? Yep. Here's your half the field player. That is telling this gentleman here, he's going to play in his fourth. He's going to play in his fourth. So there's your quarter, with this guy playing more this way. Forget this line. He's got to play here over the half. We got a cloud corner locking up on the man. We're going to send the will automatically because this is the weaker side of the field. When we send the will, this is going to be will 6, basically. We don't say cover 6. It just be called will 6. That's going to tell the front they're moving away. We're going to have a curl to flat player, hook player, hook player. So more people are joining. Awesome. So I'm going to keep going. But you guys that are just joining, we're talking base cover 6 right now. We got a half player, quarter player, quarter player. Because the weak side of this formation in a shotgun look, trips to the field, split end, running back to the boundary, Will's going to be hot, front moves away. Front's going to move towards their strafe. Here he becomes the edge player. The Sam is going to relate from 3, here's number 3, to 2, and work his drop off these two guys. He's going to work from 2 to 3. So that way, if they cross up, we got 2 players for them. But they still have to keep their zone integrity. These guys underneath could get away with a little more of playing a little less fundamentally sound. These cats got to stay true to their coverage or this thing doesn't work. Why I like it, why we like it. We're a base cover 1, cover 3 team. This fits into what we're doing because it's still a 3 high structure. It's just how we're dividing the field up. You got your quarter player here, half player here, cloud corner, locking up man on this guy underneath. So let's say even if he gets wide, he's got to relate because Will's into the pressure. He's got to relate to the swing deeper 2, meaning he sees 2 get wide. Yes, his drop's here, but that's got to extend to the flat because this cloud corner's manned up. So he's got this area here, and this helps over the top. So we still got 3 over 2. Over here, in theory, we got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 over 2. 4 over 2. If I'm losing anybody, text me, and I'll try to explain this a little deeper. Let me look for my laser pointer because I can muddy that shit up real quick with all my lines and my fucking ADD. But bear with me. I got a laser pointer here somewhere. Here it is. Boom, right in front of me. So just so everybody sees my fat ass is out the way. In base cover 6. Is this too muddy? If it's too muddy, let me know and I'll redraw it up. We have our 2 high look. You see the strong, you see the safety over here, safety over here. 2 safeties. All right. They're starting off in their base, our base look, which is a cover 2 look. Our cloud corner, who will be playing up in a press man technique, or you can play him off to disguise it, whatever. He's going to come up and take all the number 1 to the weak side. He's a cloud corner locked on number 1. We got an underneath player and an overtop player playing the half here. So we got 1, 2, we got 3 over 2 here. I like that number advantage. If we bring it the other way, we got 1, 2, 3, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys over 3. So in theory, cover 6 is a combination coverage where you're playing a quarters defense on this side, you're playing a half defense on this side. But to me, the cover 3 principles make more sense. And that's why I think a lot of people, including Saban, pair this up with cover 3 because this, you got 1 deep defender, 2 deep defenders, 3 deep defenders. This is a 3 deep structure. It's just the principle is different. Who we're sending and who's relating to who where. Even though for the most part, these guys are doing what they always do in underneath coverage, except Mike has to know he's got to swing deeper too. 2 gets out wide right now. That Mike got to run out in the flat. He's the only guy we got there because this cloud corner is locked on him. Now, you don't have to play this like this. You can play this and trap the flat with this guy, have him run over the top and keep him more in here. But that's a conversation for another day. We're going to play generic. We're going to man up if this is their best receiver, the only way we won't play this way, if this guy's an absolute war daddy and we can't fucking defend him, then we can't play this because I'm never going to trust playing this corner with this guy one-on-one with only one guy helping him. We have to do something different there if he's a war daddy. But if they're just putting somebody out there to look good and run routes, we could get away with doing this and focus on this the three-man side this way. So the beauty of cover 6 is that we get 3 over 2 to the weak side, 4 over 3 to the other side. I like those numbers advantage. We got a 4-man pressure coming. We can add a 5th with nothing just changing, except if we wanted to add a 5th, we probably have to bring the pressure from this side, maybe to Sam, and just vacate the flat on this side and bring a 5th. I don't know if I'd bring one of these guys in a cover 6. This would change I would change the principle if we wanted to bring some smoke from inside here. But here's base generic cover 6. It's a 3 deep, 1, 2, 3, 4 under defense, base zone coverage, 3 deep principle. It's kind of the popular thing over the last 5 years. I know for us, it's just a trips check. That's why I'm showing it to trips. This is what we check to when we're in trips, so we're not getting out of our base alignment and showing people what we're doing. We spin all this stuff. Maybe if I show you our base cover 1 stuff, you'll understand how we get to cover 1, cover 3, and how eventually we get to cover 6 and buzz and all that other shit I like to do with the 1 high structure. So when we're playing base defense, I always like to draw it up against pro personnel because that's the most generic thing we all see. Your 21 personnel look. All right. And let's just say, for argument's sake, we're going to get the power play. We're going to get the power play where he's going to try to kick out on the end. We're going to get a double. He's going to run the circle, pull around. He'll seal and will. All right, we're getting flow this way through game plan and scouting and knowing people's tendencies. Our first play of the game, if I know they're a power team and we want to dial up the first play, we're going to go Sam. Let's just say Sam 1. Sam 1 is telling this Sam he's hot. It's telling strong safety he's got to come up and play support. This front is going to move away. Here's our straight tackle setting the edge here. Corner gets all the number 1 in our base cover 1. Corners get all the number 1. Strong safety's got number 2. The buck relates to 3. Whoever it is, whether it's the fullback this way or the tailback, he gets somebody running the route. He relates to number 3 into the flat. Or in the power play, he's going to fit up in there. Probably he's getting a down block from his key. His key's this guard. He gets a down block from him. He's going to fit right now. He's going to fit up in there, stick his nose. But we're talking about the coverage part of this, so forget all that. If we get routes from any of these guys, he's got 3 strong. He's got 2 weak. He's the free player. He plays in the middle of the hole. Because my philosophy on defense is you are not going to beat us running the ball vertically or throwing the ball in the middle of the field. If you're going to beat us, you better throw the ball out wide and out deep outside the numbers. If you can hit those throws consistently, you're going to beat us anyway. But you're under no circumstance are you going to run the ball right at us or you're going to throw the ball down the middle of the field. If you're going to beat us, throw it out into the flat over here and deep outside over here. But I'm not letting you come in the middle of the field. So that's why we base out of cover 1 and cover 3. If we wanted to go zone, all we change is that last word right here. And we're going to go I'll just redraw it up. We'll go Sam 3. Sam 3 in generic terms is just country base cover 3, 3 deep, 4 under, which I don't barely play any of. If anything, we're playing fire zone structure where we're bringing 5 cats, and you guys got to figure that out. I'm not, we're not going to sit here and mess around doing shit that I'm not going to do. But we're still going to show our cover 1 look, even against 21 personnel. The only thing that changes is we want to go Sam 3. Front still moves away. He'll drop to his third. He'll drop to his third. He's going to drop down where he belongs. He spins to the middle of the field. He's always going to relate the 2 weak. He's got a flat. He's going to drop into the curl, extends to the flat. He's got 1 hook. He's got the other hook. So there's your 4 underneath defenders. Safety dropping in the hole. Hook to curl player, hook to curl player, flat player. He's relating to 2 weak. He relates to all of number 1. He's got the middle of the field. He's got to play between both number 1s, got to make every play from hash to hash on either side. He's got the curl to flat relating to number 2, depending on what number 2 does. The only time he don't have number 2 if he comes across the field. He comes across the field, one of these inside guys has to collision him or reroute him, get him the fuck out of there. 2 goes away, he's going to look for work getting underneath number 1, so we'll get a double team on their best receiver if 2 goes away. 2 runs vertical, he gets all the number 2 vertical in that seam. He has to reroute him out the seam and get him out of there. What kills deep 3 deep coverage? Obviously, 4 verticals, however they want to do it. If they run somebody down the middle, 4 verticals is cover 3's weakness. But if we're rerouting people and getting people out of those seams, our rush should be able to get there, or other cats, depending on the call, what we need to do. So base cover 3 for us is 3 deep, 4 under with the 4 underneath zones. I showed you cover 6. I showed you cover 1, cover 3. Believe it or not, with our match principles, which you guys can read about it. It's like a zone match man type deal, like in basketball. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna relate. Our drops will relate. Our drops, we're only gonna drop based on who we're relating to. We're not spot dropping like they teach you in just good old country cover 3. You got who you relate to, and that dictates your drop. So you have to understand the numbering system. You have to understand the verbiage. You got to understand what we're talking about, because just like on offense, every play is a scheme for us. Now, if we want to, let's say we're getting a hard ISO team that's coming straight downhill on us, and we want to switch the principle and play 3 buzz. And we want to bring inside pressure. So we're going to be buck. We're going to bring the buck 3 buzz. We're getting a hard ice team, and we want to punch the buck onto the strong side. If we want to go buck strong, that's telling these cats we're pushing up the field now, and we're going to insert him right now. He's going to insert and punch the gap right now. Since we switched the principle, that's telling the strong safety he's got to come in and play the flat, play the hook, the curl. The Sam and the Will going to push to the flats because that's the buzz. They're going to buzz the flats. He's still going to play his third. He's going to play this hook. He's going to play his hook. We got a flat hook, flat player, third player, near man principles. Obviously, just like in cover 1, the near man is number 1. Now, if 1 goes away, the same thing that the strong safety had in base cover 3. If 1 goes away, he needs to look for 2 coming out the backfield right now. And then we'll get a 2-on-1 deal, out number 2 out the backfield. The underneath guys, once again, have to, if he's dropping, his guy goes wide, he's got to stay on top of him. As soon as he sees work coming here, he's got to figure out a way to run interference, whether he collisions him, gets in his way, get him out of running in that seam so it gives our pressure a chance to get there, period. We don't want to get beat, once again, in the middle of the field. If you're going to beat us out here or beat us out here somewhere, but you're not coming in there. If that makes sense, that's the theory of how we play defense. I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying how I've learned defense and the way I want to play it, we're going to protect the middle of the field. Point blank and period. No questions asked. If you're going to beat us out wide in the flat or beat us deep, but we're always going to play with at least a middle of the field defender. Only time I'm in cover 0 is when we're bringing 6 or 7, and I know we can get there. Because when all things are equal, and you're playing teams with equal talent and equal coaching, I believe you need a middle of the field defender. Period. Now, people are going to argue that, and that's fine. The last coverage I'll touch on, the only time you'll ever see Coach Correa in a cover 2 is if we get 2x2 detached. We get 2x2 detached. I hate it because we got to apex these guys out here, but that's why we're in the 3-4 to have that ability. Now, where this gets tricky is if we're playing 2-man, you're asking these cats to get all the number 2 vertically and in the flat and have edge support. That shit ain't happening. That's exactly why I'll never play 2-man. If we play anything, it's 2-zone. Because in 2-man, just so you understand, these cats got all the number 2 wherever they go. And you're going to banjo the back in the backfield with these cats. Meaning if he goes this way, he's got to get him. If he comes over this way, he's got to get him. That's called the banjo. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're going to talk about just base 2-zone. And we're going to play outside technique and funnel these cats inside. If they're going to inside, they got to get an inside release. And we're going to play them all into the flat with these cats over the top, over the 2. To make life easy in cover 2, I would always bring – this is a situation where I'm definitely going to bring 5. We'll just go – let's just go blood X. We're going to go blood X, push up. These cats will play the slot drops. Slot drops. You got your flat droppers here, your deep defenders. There's your 2-zone with a 5-man pressure. If the back's to that side, that would be a stupid blitz that way unless you're trying to get to his right hand. Me, I would send this the other way to make that block, make that back become a blocker, which you know those cats don't want to block nobody. So we probably run it this way and wrap him up in there and force him to block. Somebody's going to come free here. As long as we can hold them and not let these cats get vertical and force them to throw out there once again, I like our chances with you throwing out there. I don't want you throwing down here. This is what we'll play 1, we're in 2. If we want to switch the principle on them, it's very simple and change that zone to hook. Everything stays the same in there. All that changes here. All that's going to change here in 2 hook is these cats is going to buzz the flats. They're going to drop in and play the hooks. And here's your half players here. And that play has always worked for us. We put it in when I was in Danbury, and it hit big for us a lot of times. That's called 2 hook. It's just an invert 2, where you're going to drop them safeties into the hook to curl. You're going to buzz the flats basically with the salmon or wheel, and you're going to have the corners bail and play 2 hook, a version of cover 2 behind it. This is why I love talking defense, because there's so many things we could talk about that I could get into, but we'll be here all night. Now that I finally got this working, if there's anything you guys want to do or see or talk about, I know I talked to a couple people that have some other ideas how to make this more interesting where we can screen share and all that. Just text me or hit me on Facebook, but I just wanted to be a man of my word and get into what I understand cover 6 to be and how we kind of get to cover 6, just explaining the gist of our defense on the back end. I won't get into the front end stuff because I know I'm going to be playing a lot of you guys, and I just can't give away that. But this stuff back here, everybody does it. So I don't mind talking the coverages. Besides that, until the next time, I'm glad I was able to deliver for you guys that tuned in. Text me, call me, let me know if you like it, and we could continue to do these during this downtime we all have. Have a good evening.